Missed an episode of your favorite podcast? Choose from over a decade of content in our archives, not just the latest episode. All free at gcnlive.com.
This is your call to action. Get prepared, America. Economy, survival, energy, disasters. This is USAPrepares.com. Informative radio, educational radio. Interact now by emailing instructor@USAPrepares.com or text at 434-390-7953. Class, please take your seats. Now, your instructor, Vincent Finelli.
Watch the greenbacks tumble.
Everyone all set? Cocked, locked. Here we go. Your dial set correctly to USAPrepares.com. We're delighted you're here, and we're broadcasting 2 hours from high atop the Missouri Ozark Mountains. I've got the call screen in front of me, so if you'd like to call us and ask your questions about survival and preparedness, 866-582-9933, 866-582-9933. We'll pay for the call. Erin Dakins is with us, and Erin broadcasts right with us right here on Genesis Communications Network from 10 to midnight, Monday through Friday. The broadcast is called The Truth Traveler. Welcome, Erin.
Good morning, Vincent. I think.
Wow,
good morning.
I was surprised that you called me Vincent. Normally on the air you call me Mr. Finelli. Now, why is that?
I don't know. I have this thing with formality with Italians. Maybe I don't know.
Erin, you and I
call
talk.
You Vincenzo, and then you think you're in trouble.
Erin, you and I talk just about every day, and we spend a lot of time on the phone. And I've met you twice. Twice.
Yeah, you've been stuck with me.
And we went to, you came to the farm for the expo, and you and your husband came. It was great to meet Brad and you. And then we went to a preparedness expo in Indiana. That was great to spend some time with you guys. But anyway, Erin, it's 2 hours that we're going to spend today about preparedness regarding medicine and what you should have, ready to go at your location, wherever you are, and maybe even have a go bag. Let me preface this by saying a couple of years ago, I had a doctor's appointment with my medical doctor, not Dr. Shealy. This was another doctor in Springfield, Missouri, just my general practitioner for an annual checkup. And I said to him, it might be nice to have some antibiotics at the ready. Should I be in need of that? So can you get me a prescription so that I can have, antibiotics at my home should someone need them? And that way we won't have to run to the pharmacy because I live in the middle of nowhere. And by the way, most doctors' offices are closed Friday afternoons through Monday morning. What do you think? And he bristled at that. And
did he really?
Yeah, he did. He did. It's like, you know what? If you need us, we're here. Just make an appointment. Right? Make an appointment. So I haven't seen him very often. I might have seen him once since then. And you can get antibiotics from other places. You don't need to get them from your doctor or your pharmacy. And let's talk about that today too, okay?
We sure can. I got a good place for him.
Okay. Well, and let's talk about, why you might have antibiotics. So, Erin, to have antibiotics at the ready, like for me, it's okay. It's easy. I'm a farmer and I have animals and they get sick. So, we have the same antibiotics at the farm, for our animals that they're the darn same things that people use, and the instructions, the data sheet that comes with the bottle of antibiotics, on one side is for humans and the other side is for animals.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same sheet.
That's right.
It's the same stuff.
It's the same stuff. Yep, that's right.
Mm-hmm. So let's talk about that.
Okay. Is that where you want to start?
Sure.
I was a registered veterinary technician for 25 years before I retired. So I was really involved in allopathic medicine until I realized, oops, vaccines and whatnot are killing my patients, and I had to retire. I'm like you, Vincent. I prefer more natural approaches, but sometimes antibiotics are warranted, okay? And you're going to want to have a supply of antibiotics on hand. I tend to order the capsules and put them in my refrigerator. I've even got some in my freezer. There's two of them that I consider, I think everybody should have stocked up a supply of. One is amoxicillin. I know everybody knows that one. And I like the other one's called Keflex or cephalexin. I'll give you an example. Say the grid is down, whatever. Say you can't go to a doc in the box. Maybe there aren't doctors around anymore for whatever reason. We're not going to get into that today. I think we all know the reasons why. But say somebody in your group or somebody that's with you all of a sudden has maybe an infected tooth or an abscessed tooth. That's pretty painful. I mean, that could pretty much take you out of the picture for a while. I'm sure we've all been there. Having some amoxicillin or even some Keflex put back is probably a pretty good idea because you can knock that infection down and get it to the point where they can function even and continue going. I know a lot of people will take a round of antibiotics for a bad tooth. It takes care of the infection right then, and they go on for another year or two before they have another problem. You can find the animal antibiotics, which are the same as people, like Vincent said. A lot of them are also fish antibiotics. Now, there is a website. It's called CAL, C-A-L, vet, V-E-T, supply.com, calvetsupply.com. You can order 500 milligram amoxicillin capsules. There's 100 count for $25.99. I think that's a pretty good price, and you would have it, just throw it in your fridge or your freezer. I think, and they have Keflex. They have, if you need other stuff, they have that too. They have ketoconazole. That's for fungal infections. They have, oh my gosh, they have everything you need right here, and it's called Cal Vet Supply. So I think it's a good place to stock up on those antibiotics.
Okay, well, I've done that. And so one of the things that we do on this broadcast, and I know you do on yours, on the Truth Traveler at night, Erin, is you lead by example. So we tell stories about things that we have done, true stories. Mm-hmm. And so we have antibiotics for our animals, and it's all above board. It's not like we're skirting the law. We have animals, we have cats, we have dogs, and I found that it's much less expensive to buy antibiotics by the jar than by the each. Okay. So when you have a pharmacist count them out, they cost a lot more than if you buy the entire bottle. And the entire bottle can last years and years and years if you keep it cool and dry, as you've said. So I'm thinking that the last jar of antibiotics that I bought, 500, was $65.
Good price.
So, yeah. Now it may have gone up, but I couldn't have gone up that much. So that's quite inexpensive. So for our class today, Cal Vet Supply. Now we have no financial interest in Cal Vet Supply.
None whatsoever.
You may want to go to your veterinarian and say, you'd like some for your animals, and see what they say. You might want to call them up and say, I'd like to come in. I'd like to get 100. Can you have them ready for me? I'll be there this afternoon. See what happens and find out how much they are. But getting them in the original jar, that's the hot setup, because then you've got a sealed jar and it lasts longer.
That's
so
right.
we have exactly that. We have amoxicillin and we have cephalexin as well. So that's great. So
I think they're perfect antibiotics to have on hand. Perfect.
Mm-hmm. Okay. What else should we consider? Oh, and what would we use? Let's go through for humans. Let's say a human had a problem. What would you use amoxicillin for?
I'll use it for anything. If you've got a wound that's infected, amoxicillin or Keflex, either one, I will use for dental. I'll use for infections. Now, the best one, at least in animals when I was in practice, okay, that we used for like oral issues in animals was a product called Antirobe. And you could probably find that on here too. But as a general rule, Keflex and amoxicillin are going to get you through the pinch that you need for your animals or yourself, really. We keep these in stock all the time. Brad tends to have dental issues after being over in Iraq. So we've always kind of got a little supply of this on hand for when he has a flare-up. Mm-hmm. If you have somebody who has an infected wound, put them on some amoxicillin. For those of you that have had cats that maybe have a chronic respiratory infection, cats get that a lot. As long as the nasal discharge is clear, you're okay, and I wouldn't use antibiotics. But if it starts to turn that greenish or that yellowish, which we call purulent discharge, then you're definitely going to want to put them on some amoxicillin, that sort of thing. I've used it for abscesses. You have somebody gets tangled up with one of your fences. I'm sure you've had that happen, Vincent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't like it to happen, but sometimes the cows stick their heads through and they get a little wound. Yep.
Yep. We had an alpaca decide to stick his head through a fence a couple months ago, and when he did it, he totally lacerated the side of his face. So, there's always something going on, and these come in real handy. And the capsules are easy. If you have something that's smaller, like maybe you have a 500 milligram capsule of amoxicillin, but you have a small cat that needs it, use half a capsule, mix it in something, hide it in something, some tuna with oil. Some people will go to the health food store and buy the gel caps, the empty ones. You can buy the right size that you need. It's real handy to have some gel caps that are empty put up too, Vincent.
Well, that's a really good point. As you were saying that, I was typing eBay. I just clicked eBay, and because you can buy gelatin capsules in bulk, and you can buy a capsule machine so that you can fill 100 or so at a time. And as a matter of fact, one of our instructors recommends that we make our own vitamins and mineral supplements and encapsulate them ourselves. We'll be right back. Erin Dakins, the Truth Traveler. By now you know that USAPrepares.com is your source for water filtration systems. Here at the farm, we use our water filtration system for drinking, cooking, and for our cats and dogs. Which brand are we using? Well, that would be the ProPure system, because it filters out pathogens, microbes, chlorine, and fluoride. Multiple sources indicate that fluoride is responsible for lowering our IQs by 5%. Now, how many of you would like to sign up for a lower IQ? USAPrepares.com offers ProPure water filtration system and accessories at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate. We buy them by the pallet loads and pass the savings on to you. And if you're outside of Missouri, there's no sales tax. And if this appeals to you, visit USAPrepares.com. That's USAPrepares.com. You can order online, and we have the ProPure water filtration systems in stock, ready to ship. USAPrepares.com. ProPure water filtration systems at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate.
On the average, Americans work between 45 to 50 years, hoping to build up enough wealth to retire and live out their golden years. Unfortunately, with taxation, the rising cost of food, energy, housing, and medical, many retirees are forced to live below the poverty line. Is this a flaw free enterprise, or is our monetary unit we call the Federal Reserve Note forcing us into perpetual debt, ensuring inflation and higher taxes? These questions and more can be answered by reading G. Edward Griffin's book, The Creature from Jekyll Island. Congressman Ron Paul states it's what every American needs to know about central bank power, a gripping adventure into the secret world of international banking cartel. Hi, this is Ted Anderson. I will give a silver dollar from the early 1900s to anyone who purchases this book. Call 1-800-686-2237 and order a copy today. It's critical that the public be made aware of the system. Call and order your copy today at 1-800-686-2237. That's 1-800-686-2237.
You've heard them on Alex Jones. You've seen them on Ancient Aliens. Now come see them live at Contact in the Desert 2015 in Joshua Tree this May. Experience 4 full days of science-centered lectures, workshops, intensives and fieldwork on ancient astronauts, extraterrestrial intelligence, human origins, crop circles, contact experiences, UFO sightings and more. Meet Chariots of the Gods author Eric von Daniken, Ancient Aliens host Giorgio A. Tsoukalos, New York Times bestselling author David Wilcock, Dead Doctors Don't Lie author Dr. Joel Wallach, astronauts Edgar Mitchell and Story Musgrave, Earth Files publisher Linda Moulton Howe, author Jim Mars, and many of the world's most respected researchers and scientists exploring answers to one of the greatest questions of all time. More speakers, more panels, more things to do. Join us at the Joshua Tree Retreat Center, which has a long history of sightings and contact experiences. For advance tickets and conference schedule, go to contactinthedesert.com. That is contactinthedesert.com.
Don't complain about your cable bill going up and up and up. Do something about it. Grab a pencil and jot down this special number, 1-855-905-MY-TV. The more cable TV rates go up, the better digital satellite TV looks. Say goodbye to the cable guy and get more of your favorite channels in 100% digital quality for less money. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. Sign up for packages starting as low as $19.99 and there's no equipment to buy. You get free HD TV upgrade, a free DVR upgrade, and free professional installation. You control what you watch when you watch it. Record your favorite shows. Pause and rewind live TV. Even skip the commercials. Watch local channels too. At just $19.99, what are you waiting for? Pull out your major credit or debit card. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. 1-855-905-MY-TV. Say goodbye to the cable guy. Cut costs and get more. 1-855-905-MY-TV. 1-855-905-MY-TV.
So Erin, I went to eBay during the break and I looked up capsule machines and I found one that's very, very inexpensive. It's a small unit, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It holds 50 capsules and you can make it. And the price shipped to your door is $10.94. And if you want a well, I look for good prices. And then I found another one that is a lot larger. It's a 400 capsule capacity, and it's $79.90 shipped. So what a great way to go. And let's say you want to figure out how you can make this tax deductible. Well, so you start your blog and you talk about neat survival and preparedness products, and you start writing about them. You say, well, I bought this capsule machine, and here's my evaluation of it, and now that $10.94 is a deduction against your business. Or let's say you buy both of them, and you say, well, I really like the one that can make 400 capsules better. So now you have two of them. They're both business deductions. And then, of course, the gelatin capsules are now a business deduction, because what your business is writing on your blog about business products, about preparedness, and your take on it. And what you're trying to do is find advertisers for your blog. So that's your business. Your business model is to find advertisers, and you write about neat products that you want to evaluate for your preparedness business. Now, I don't know, what do you do with all these things after you buy them for your business? I guess either you sell them or keep them and take more pictures of them, right? So there you go. You have well, I mean, seriously, if you want to start your business and acquire some preparedness supplies, what a great way to do it and have it be deductible. And by the way, I'm going to be teaching that on the 30th of this month in Mountain Home, Arkansas at the Preppers and Patriots Expo, Mountain Home, Arkansas, on Saturday, the 30th of this month. Just one more item in our toolkit that we need, Erin. I do not have a capsule machine yet, but one of our instructors from across the pond was telling me, and I'm sure he was telling you separately, was about equine supplements that give your racehorses, and we can encapsulate them. You have to get the right ones, and I guess we have to be careful about what we say on the air. But some people use horse vitamins and minerals, put them in capsules, take them every other day, and they save an enormous amount of money. Probably, I'll bet they save 90%. What do you think?
Oh, I think you're probably pretty close.
Mm-hmm.
I do.
Mm-hmm.
And you're right. But I think the smaller capsule machine would be perfect for most people. And that's probably $10 to $15 pretty well spent. That's just what I think.
Yeah.
The thing that people need to think about, Vincent, is if something happens in America, which we think it probably will at some point,
mm-hmm.
and you can't just go to a hospital, you can't just go to a doctor. Back in the day, before we had all these quote-unquote doctors, which the American doctors, the allopathic doctors, I think they're really good at any kind of trauma. Other stuff, I tend to try to treat stuff myself at home, but for trauma, they're pretty good. But back in the day, an infection could kill you. It's that simple.
Mm-hmm.
If we're in a grid down kind of situation, you're bunkered in wherever you are, what if somebody's out fixing a fence? How many times have you cut yourself fixing a fence or wiring up a fence or anything else, working on a vehicle? If you don't clean that wound and take care of it, the infection could kill you because it will go systemic. So having your antibiotics ahead of time is a step in the right direction. But I know you wanted to talk about also what to do with lacerations, and we'll discuss that too. But listeners, I think you probably ought to get your pen and paper ready to take some of these notes down too, because there are going to be some recipes and how to do something that might just save a life at some point. That's what we need to be cognizant of, is that the little things will be the ones that kill you. It may not be the banker dad down the road that goes Mad Max because he's out of food that gets you. It might be that half-inch laceration on your thigh. So people need to keep that in perspective.
And, yesterday our son was interning at a veterinarian's clinic, and he got sprayed with hydraulic oil because a hydraulic hose burst. And, something as simple as that, you don't want to wear that on your clothing all day. You want to get that off you immediately because it could harm you. Your body. How many of you want to learn how to dig up bugs, worms, and raise crickets for food? Do you prefer to eat them dried and crunchy or while still alive? Well, you won't have to if you can defend your food supply from predators. You may want to get an AR-15 kit from guns80.com and build your own AR-15 rifle from a kit. If you can legally own a rifle, you can purchase this AR-15 kit. If you're handy, you can complete the rifle in about an hour. The kit comes with all the parts you're going to need to build your rifle, but you'll need a drill press. And survivalists need one anyway. The Guns80.com team purchased the same used floor-standing drill press that I have for $100. You can too. And when you're finished, you'll have a paperwork-free AR-15 rifle, a drill press, drill bits, and the knowledge to maintain your AR-15 rifle, all for less than you expect. So if you want a paperwork-free AR-15 parts kit like mine, visit Guns80.com, Guns80.com, and let the unprepared have our share of the bugs.
For over 5 years, you've been hearing about the Berkey guy, so you may know a few things about him. For example, you are well aware of the superior quality and effectiveness of Berkey water filters and accessories. But did you know the Berkeys have had independent lab tests done to prove just how effective they are? It's true, and he can email you the test results. Just visit GoBerkey.com. You may also know that the Berkey guy has helped tens of thousands of people get better prepared. Now here's something you may not know. GoBerkey.com has amazing specials and deals all the time on a wide variety of survival and preparedness products, most ready to ship same day. Visit the Berkey guy at GoBerkey.com and be sure to click the red Products on Sale Now button. You can always call toll-free 877-886-3653. Again, that's 877-886-3653. GoBerkey.com, home of the Berkey guy.
Hi, this is Steve Sanchez, and based on a recent study, it was found that 57 million Americans had legal issues over the last 12 months, but only 60% of those studied sought out the services of a lawyer. Why? In a nutshell, affordability. Well, my friends at Legal Shield have created a solution that can help you not if, but when you need an attorney. For as little as $17 per month, Legal Shield will provide you unlimited access to qualified attorneys at an accomplished law firm for advice and counsel on legal issues, no matter how serious or trivial. Shield. For over 40 years and with 1.4 million families across North America, Legal Shield can help you, the loyal GCN listener. Representatives are standing by now to answer your questions, so call them now at 1-855-340-SAVE. That's 1-855-340-7283, or visit them at lsprotection.com. That's lsprotection.com.
Results will vary from case to case.
If the IRS has garnished your paycheck or seized money from your bank account, you need to get professional tax help now. Fast action is required to put a halt to these aggressive IRS collection tactics. You can count on the knowledgeable team of tax professionals at Wall & Associates. With over 30 years of experience, Wall & Associates has settled the tax problems of thousands of taxpayers for a small fraction of what they owed. For a free face-to-face consultation, call 1-800-425-4610 to put a wall between you and the IRS. 1-800-425-4610, or look for us on the web at wallandassociates.net. We solve tax problems. If you hire Wall & Associates today, you'll never have to talk to the IRS again. To stop the levies and seizures today, take action now. Call Wall & Associates at 1-800-425-4610. Wall & Associates, 1-800-425-4610. Based on actual cases, results may vary, not a solicitation for legal services.
If you constantly feel run down and tired, your pH level might be low and your body could be full of toxins. If what you drink is not at a pH level of 8 or higher, you are inviting bacteria and acid to thrive in your body. But there is something you can do. Simply add 10 drops of AlkaVision Plasma pH drops to your water to help your body rid itself of acidic waste, increase oxygen, and raise your pH balance to optimum levels. AlkaVision Plasma pH drops combine a unique formula of the most alkaline minerals in the world, alkalizing the water you drink, ridding your body of acidic waste and toxins, and helping you regain energy and vibrant health. And studies show viruses, bacteria, and toxins cannot survive in an alkaline, high pH environment. Order your bottle of AlkaVision Plasma pH drops at alkavision.com. That's ALKA vision.com. Or call 269-409-1776. 269-409-1776. Alkalize your body. Supercharge your health at alkavision.com today.
Erin Dakins and I are talking about medical supplies that you should have at your home for your preparedness in case of an emergency. Mm-hmm. And Erin, we're talking about lacerations. You know, I go through barbed wire fences every day, and sometimes I get cut. I work with machinery here at the farm, and sometimes I get cut and banged up, and so we have items to treat those kinds of injuries. We have the tools here, and I think as well, you were talking about as we spiral down toward the abyss, when that doctor is not available, when that nurse is not available, when that pharmacy is not available, when the grid is down, we should have what we need before we need it. Mm-hmm. Let's talk about the lacerations. You know, one of the things that a lot of us don't like to do when we get cut is we don't like to clean that cut out because it hurts. But if we went to the emergency room, first thing they would do is clean out the cut, right?
Yep. They would. But you might luck out and they might numb it for you too. I know.
Want to talk about that?
But you do have to clean it out. Yeah. That was the thing. I have some lidocaine injectable. I think everybody knows what lidocaine is, right? I have some. But you look at it and you think, what if it's 10, 15, 20 years of the rest of my life? Are those couple little vials going to be enough? Now, say you're out tending a fence, say you come up to the house and you've got a 2-inch laceration on your thigh, and it's gone through all the layers of your skin and we're down to the meat. So yes, we've got to clean it out. We've got to flush it out. And I'll get into some things to flush it too, Vincent, for everybody, but it's going to need sutures. Now, a lot of us have butterfly bandages put back in our kits, but sometimes that's just, and super glue. You can use super glue to close up small lacerations, okay? No problem. But, a 2-inch or something like that you're probably going to need sutures. Well, lidocaine goes a long way into making the person doing the suturing easier, and it makes it easier on the person that's having to get the sutures, too. Because I don't know about you, but I don't like pain anymore than I have to take. So I couldn't figure out I knew there was a way to make lidocaine, and I found it. So, Vincent, if you want me to share that, I will go through this recipe with people.
Well, that sounds great. Let me see. I've got my notebook out. I've got my pen out. So we're going to make a local anesthetic.
Correct. And then I'll talk about how to do that. Now, lidocaine it's called lidocaine hydrochloride or lidocaine HCl. You want to find the water-soluble powder. Now, you can buy this online, and you just have to Google it. And you can buy it online. It's not that expensive to buy it. You're not going to need very much. So if you could get by, a lot of times it's about $1 a gram. So if you could buy 15 to 20 grams, something like that, it's probably going to be oodles and gobs too much. Just get what you can. I have found several different places that sell it, but I haven't ordered it yet. Okay? So get that. Now, it's lidocaine hydrochloride powder. You want the water-soluble kind. If you can obtain USP grade, that's fine. If not, then get the lab grade. Okay, it's fine. You're going to need some sterile saline, and I will go through a recipe in a minute on how to make your own sterile saline, too, so you have that. You're going to need a thermometer, like a cooking thermometer kind of thing. A scale. You know, you can go to a head shop or a tobacco shop, and they have the little scales. It's just like about the size of a wallet, and it's got a little dish that you can measure stuff in. We won't go into what they're measuring, but anyway, you can get them there. They're $25-$30. You need a small funnel, a surgical clamp, some scissors, and what you're going to do, and I'm just going to read this recipe. You can clean all your equipment with some regular rubbing alcohol. Now, this particular person you can buy sterile saline in little plastic vials. I prefer just to make it, but I'm going to go through and read the recipe as he writes it here. They're 15 ml plastic vials, and what you want to do is you want to make basically a 2% lidocaine solution. On these little vials, you're going to cut it comes where you snip the top off, and you've got the saline open. You're going to add 0.3 grams of the lidocaine powder to that 15 ml vial of saline, okay? You're going to use a teeny tiny funnel to do this. That's why I think there's probably better ways. But anyway, 0.3 grams to 15 mLs of the saline. Then you're going to take this and put this in a jar, like a glass cup. You're going to put it down in a pan of water on your stove. You're kind of creating kind of a double boiler thing here because you don't want to melt the plastic vial. You want to heat that water to just past 176 degrees Fahrenheit because that is when the lidocaine powder will melt and dissolve into water. So you want to keep it on there till you get to that temperature. Let it dissolve out. It'll go into the water, and then take it off and let it cool down. Let it cool, and now you have a 2% injectable solution of lidocaine. Now, you can go to you can find these online, but you can go to a lot of your Tractor Supply stores, and you can buy all different sizes of syringes and needles. Now, if you're going to be injecting an area around a wound, the patient is going to appreciate a little bit smaller gauge needle. Now, when you gauge needles, the higher number that you have, like a 25 gauge needle, is a very, very small needle. When you get down to the 12 gauge needles, don't even come near me because that's a ginormous needle. Okay? So you're going to want to look for something like a 23 or a 25 gauge needle. If you can find a 1 ml syringe, that's fine. If not, just get the 3 ml syringes. The 25 gauge needles, I always keep those around. I have those around. They're great for taking splinters out too, by the way. And they're sterile, so it's nice. I like the 1 cc or the tuberculin syringes, they're called, for this kind of job. But I'll use what I have. I just like the 1 cc when you're injecting around a wound because it's a smaller syringe as far as the diameter goes. And it's easier to work with because you're going to use small amounts. So you're going to want to draw up your lidocaine solution into that syringe with your hopefully 25 gauge needle, but a 23 will work. When you get close to the 22 gauges, it's getting kind of big to do this. So try to stick with your 25 gauge needles. You can also, for those of you that have insulin syringes around, you can use that too. That's just itty bitty teeny tiny. And it's a very short needle, so I prefer not to work with those myself, but you can do it. Draw up your solution. You're going to want to look at the gash that you need to numb and going to suture it. And then put your needle on to just into the skin, inject a little bit in that area, pull out of the skin, move around the laceration in small increments. I mean, be reasonable. You don't have to, it spreads when it gets in there. So you don't have to pull your needle out, go a micron to the next site. Go maybe, I don't even know how to tell you, maybe 1/8 of an inch. Go to the next site and inject. When you have done that all the way around the laceration, this really shouldn't sting too much because you're using a saline solution. Even though we're not putting any sodium bicarbonate in here as a buffer, I don't think you're going to need it. I think it'll work just fine. Here's the trick with this. Listeners, as soon as you inject it doesn't mean it's numb. It's got to locate the nerves and deaden those nerves. You need to wait about 10 minutes before you start suturing. Trust me on that. If you finish injecting and just start suturing, they're going to feel it. And you're going to defeat the whole purpose of why you've done this to begin with. So let it wait about 10 minutes, suture it up. And that's going to work anywhere, animal or people. Now, Vincent, did you have any questions on that?
No, no, your explanation is very clear. And while you were talking about some of this, I went to eBay and I looked up some scales. And so if you don't want to have people visit you, you can search on jewelry scale. And I found some for $10 shipped, $7.49 shipped, $7.50 shipped, and as low as $5.10 shipped for a little tiny pocket scale that will measure the amount you're talking about. So very, very precise. But the problem is it is electronic and it does require a couple batteries. So, but you can get one of these scales for $5.10 shipped.
Yeah, they're cheap.
From China, from Hong Kong. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yep. And they're going to come in real handy. I think it's a great item to add to your preps anyway.
Mm-hmm. We have one. We have one of those little scales for precisely these purposes. And ours, I think ours was a little bit more expensive. Ours was $9.99.
Okay, very good. And I think the ability to make lidocaine on your own is going to be critical. I put that really, really high at the list on my medical kit, just because it makes things so much easier on everybody involved in whatever trauma you're trying to deal with. I can suture my animals up as long as I've got lidocaine. I do that myself. I don't have to make a trip to the vet.
Mm-hmm. And a toothache is a showstopper. If someone has a massive toothache, they're unable to complete virtually any task, including defend themselves. Right?
That's right.
Mm-hmm. When we were building our house, there was a guy who was helping us with concrete. Mm-hmm. And he's a native here in the Ozarks, and he had like maybe 1 or 2 teeth left. And he pulled his own teeth with vice grips.
Mm-hmm. That makes me cringe.
I've never heard of that before.
I've heard a lot of people do that.
Okay. But the point of all that is as extreme as it sounds, what would we do if there were no dentist? Now, I think it'd be a lot more pleasant, as unpleasant as it would be. It'd be more pleasant if we had a local anesthetic. Don't you think?
Mm-hmm. I do, and I can go into that a little bit too for you.
All right, that's coming up right after these few short commercial announcements. How many of you want to learn how to dig up bugs, worms, and raise crickets for food? Do you prefer to eat them dried and crunchy or while still alive? Well, you won't have to if you can defend your food supply from predators. You may want to get an AR-15 kit from guns80.com and build your own AR-15 rifle from a kit. If you can legally own a rifle, you can purchase this AR-15 kit. If you're handy, you can complete the rifle in about an hour. The kit comes with all the parts you're going to need to build your rifle, but you'll need a drill press. And survivalists need one anyway. The Guns80.com team purchased the same used floor-standing drill press that I have for $100. You can too. And when you're finished, you'll have a paperwork-free AR-15 rifle, a drill press, drill bits, and the knowledge to maintain your AR-15 rifle, all for less than you expect. So if you want a paperwork-free AR-15 parts kit like mine, visit Guns80.com, Guns80.com, and let the unprepared have our share of the bugs.
We all know that Berkey Water Purification Systems are the most trusted name in water filtration. As an authorized Berkey dealer for over 6 years and serving thousands of satisfied customers, the Berkey Guy offers amazing specials for Berkey Water Filtration Systems. The Berkey Light Systems include a set of self-sterilizing and recleanable black purification elements that purify water by removing chlorine, pathogenic bacteria, cysts, and parasites to non-detectable levels and remove harmful chemicals such as herbicides and pesticides. Order the Berkey Light System today, complete with 2 black Berkey elements for only $231, and the Berkey Guy will ship your order free of charge. With the purchase of a Berkey Light, the Berkey Guy is also offering a set of fluoride and arsenic filters for only $39.99. That's over 30% off the retail price. Call the Berkey Guy at 1-877-886-3653. That's 1-877-886-3653. Or order online at GoBerkey.com. That's GoBerkey.com today.
I'm Vincent Finelli of USAPrepares.com. As most of you know, I broadcast weekday mornings on GCN from 9 to 11. And I'm also a full-time farmer. Add to that mix the weekly meetups and the Get Prepared Expo, and this combination makes for a demanding schedule. On the farm, we raise grass-fed Black Angus cattle and provide them with the best variety of summer and fall grasses available. Our cattle are exposed to the extremes of weather, the toxins in the air, and the electromagnetic radiation that's all around us. So even the best grasses and food that we provide are not enough. Our cattle require minerals and supplements for strong health and resistance to disease. And so do we. For these reasons, my mother, our children, Mrs. Finelli, and I all take Longevity, Beyond Tangy Tangerine, De-Stress, Glucogel, and EFA Plus. USAPreparesTeam.com. And thank you for being in class today.
Don't complain about your cable bill going up and up and up. Do something about it. Grab a pencil and jot down this special number, 1-855-905-MY-TV. The more cable TV rates go up, the better digital satellite TV looks. Say goodbye to the cable guy and get more of your favorite channels in 100% digital quality for less money. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. Sign up for packages starting as low as $19.99, and there's no equipment to buy. You get free HD TV upgrade, a free DVR upgrade, and free professional installation. You control what you watch when you watch it. Record your favorite shows, pause and rewind live TV, even skip the commercials. Watch local channels too. At just $19.99, what are you waiting for? Pull out your major credit or debit card. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. 1-855-905-MY-TV. Say goodbye to the cable guy. Cut costs and get more. 1-855-905-MY-TV. 1-855-905-MY-TV.
We live in a complicated society. Stressful issues are always popping up. Have you ever been treated unfairly by someone? Have you ever been overcharged for a repair? Have you ever signed a contract or a document? Worried about identity theft? How many times have you been in those unique situations where you just wanted to call an attorney to find out if you're right or wrong, or what your legal rights are? But every time you think about calling an attorney, what do you think about first? That's right. Who do you call, and how much will it cost? Our friends at Legal Shield have found a solution. With a nationwide network of 6,900 attorneys who average 19 years of experience, Legal Shield's law firms take over 40,000 calls per week helping their members. For less than $20 per month, you can have access to Legal Shield on everything from the trivial to the traumatic. Let Legal Shield stand up for your rights at lsprotection.com. That's lsprotection.com. Or call 855-340-SAVE, 855-340-7283.
Results will vary from case to case.
Class, Erin Dakins is with us, the Truth Traveler, right here, Monday through Friday, 10 to midnight, Central Time. And every once in a while, I join Erin on her broadcast. And on Fridays from 2 to 4 Central Time, Erin and I host a show together. It's called The Bunker Files. And we talk about all kinds of things. Kind of like what we're talking about right now. Erin, we're talking about pulling teeth with vice grips and...
No.
You have...
Please, no. No.
Hey,
Ouch. No. Go ahead, Vincent.
There's a line outside the studio, people waiting for their turn.
Yeah, I'm sure. I would be running in terror. Listen, here's the thing. Pulling teeth is not easy. I did all of the dental work when I was in practice at the veterinary clinic. Now, we had general anesthesia for the animals, but we're not probably going to have that. So you're going to need a local anesthesia. Hence, the lidocaine can work.
Mm-hmm.
Listeners, now's the time for you to research these things while we still have the internet. If you go to YouTube, there are a gazillion videos on nerve blocks, local anesthesia for the mouth. Now, there's a difference between numbing an area for laceration and a nerve block. Numbing the area for laceration, you're numbing the little bitty nerves that are around that break in the skin. When you're doing a nerve block, you're taking the lidocaine injectable and injecting it so it surrounds a main nerve, okay? And that's what you're going to have to do for dental. Now's your time to go to YouTube and watch some of these videos. There's different nerves that you need to do a nerve block on for different parts of the mouth. You have your mandible. That's the part of your mouth that moves up and down when you're flapping your jaws. And then you have your maxilla, which is the top. And then you can go through number of the teeth and all that stuff. We don't need to do that. To find a basic nerve block, there are, like I said, tons of videos there. You're going to use a 25-gauge needle, again, like we talked about. You see a lot of dentists will use a metal kind of syringe or a glass. Just use the plastic one. Come on. Be real about this. If you're going to pull one of my teeth, I want you to numb it a little bit, because what people don't understand is that tooth root is embedded in your jaw, but it has ligaments that go around it that secure it into that jaw. If you have a tooth that's really bad, like a really diseased tooth, it may have even spread into the bone around that tooth root. So they may be fairly easy to get out. But if you have one that maybe somebody just cracked the tooth, I mean, sometimes they have to get hit with something, okay? You crack the tooth, you can't save the tooth, you can't go to a dentist, what are you going to do? Because if you don't do something, that cracked tooth that probably has pulp exposed is going to be really painful. It's going to be set up for an infection that can go right into the jaw. You're going to have to get that tooth out of there, including the root, and including any of that periodontal ligament that's still in there. So if you numb me, I'm going to be a lot happier with that. So you're going to find a nerve block. Just write it down. Watch the videos and take notes. That's it. And put it in your notebook. You're going to block the nerve. Now's the time to go to someplace like eBay or Amazon and order some of the dental instruments. They have beginning, like, dental instrument kits. You're going to have elevators and extractors. Now, an elevator, I don't know how to explain what it looks like. It's kind of like a metal stick, and it's got a little scoop at the end. And there's different sizes, and there's different, whether it's really curved or it's more pointy. There's different ones. I think I probably have 8 different ones that I have in our kit. That's what you're going to use to break that periodontal ligament away from the bone to be able to pull the tooth out. Using vice grips, chances are those were diseased teeth anyway. Chances are that periodontal ligament was already breaking down. You've got to, otherwise I don't know how you get it out. We'll pick this up after the break.
Well, yeah. Erin Dakins. And I will be right back after these
I'm going to go pull the teeth.
Few short commercial announcements and top of the hour news. And we're pulling teeth. We're pulling teeth today. And we've got some more to tell you about emergency medical preparedness and your survival when we come back. This is USAPreparedness.com. Don't touch that dial.
You've heard them on Alex Jones. You've seen them on Ancient Aliens. Now come see them live at Contact in the Desert 2015 in Joshua Tree this May. Experience 4 full days of science-centered lectures, workshops, intensives and fieldwork on ancient astronauts, extraterrestrial intelligence, human origins, crop circles, contact experiences, UFO sightings and more. Meet Chariots of the Gods author Eric von Daniken, Ancient Aliens host Giorgio A. Tsoukalos, New York Times bestselling author David Wilcock, Dead Doctors Don't Lie author Dr. Joel Wallach, astronauts Edgar Mitchell and Story Musgrave, Earth Files publisher Linda Moulton Howe, author Jim Mars, and many of the world's most respected researchers and scientists exploring answers to one of the greatest questions of all time. More speakers, more panels, more things to do. Join us at the Joshua Tree Retreat Center, which has a long history of sightings and contact experiences. For advance tickets and conference schedule, go to contactinthedesert.com. That is contactinthedesert.com.
Normal blood pressure, naturally. How would that make you feel?
I'm Don from New Mexico. January of 2000, I had a heart attack. Then my real health began going downhill, and I had high blood pressure, high blood sugar, poor vision, and I really wasn't sleeping well. I was a mess, pretty much.
Don reports dramatic improvements with Heart and Body Extract.
I started taking Heart and Body Extract, and from within a few days, I started sleeping a lot better. My blood pressure normalized, my blood sugar normalized, and my sleep really did improve.
Experience these benefits and more when your body gets what it needs with the assistance of Heart and Body Extract. Order at hbextract.com or call 866-295-5305. That's hbextract.com or call 866-295-5305.
And folks, I did not expect this at all. By the 7th, 8th, and 9th day, I saw dramatic improvements from taking Heart and Body Extract.
Details at hbextract.com or call 866-295-5305 for Heart and Body Extract.
If the IRS has garnished your paycheck or seized money from your bank account, you need to get professional tax help now. Fast action is required to put a halt to these aggressive IRS collection tactics. You can count on the knowledgeable team of tax professionals at Wall & Associates. With over 30 years of experience, Wall & Associates has settled the tax problems of thousands of taxpayers for a small fraction of what they owed. For a free face-to-face consultation, call 1-800-425-4610 to put a wall between you and the IRS. 1-800-425-4610 or look for us on the web at wallandassociates.net. We solve tax problems. If you hire Wall & Associates today, you'll never have to talk to the IRS again. To stop the levies and seizures today, take action now. Call Wall & Associates at 1-800-425-4610. Wall & Associates. 1-800-425-4610. Based on actual cases, results may vary, not a solicitation for legal services.
Watch the greenbacks tumble.
Everyone all set? Hour number 2, usaprepares.com. Erin Dakins is with us. Erin Dakins broadcasts 2 hours every night, Monday through Friday, 10 to midnight on Genesis Communications Network. Her broadcast is called The Truth Traveler, and she investigates all kinds of things that she wants to know more about. And she has expert guests and expert opinions, and it's very worth your while if you're interested in expanding your mind and learning the truth about so many things that we've been lied to about. Would that be an accurate description, Erin?
I think you're pretty close, Vincent. I think you're pretty close. Yeah. Yeah.
Erin, I just got off the phone with a man. Mrs. Finelli took a call while I was on the air with you, hour number 1. And one of our students called and said, I put out a request for someone to teach us about making wine and beer and how to do it. And, why would we do that? Well, if you're interested in preserving grapes, wine is a great way to do that. And it keeps for years and years and years. And you can avoid paying the tax to, the other team. Why would we want to give them any more of our money? So if you're interested in, wine, you can make your own. And if you're interested in beer, you can make your own. And, we now have an instructor. I just got off the phone with him during the top of the hour news and commercial announcements. And, he's agreed. He's agreed to come on the air with us and come to the meetup and teach us how to make wine and beer. So I'm all excited. So, Erin, the more we starve the beast, the better I like it. How about you?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, me too. I agree.
Yep. And one of the things that we haven't talked about is, for those of us who smoke, I don't, but some of us do, we can also reduce the amount we can pay in taxes by, I guess, I don't know if the term is roll your own, but make your own cigarettes, correct?
Correct. That's what I do. Yep. And I use bulk tobacco that doesn't have all the chemicals sprayed on that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's much cheaper. It's much better for you. You can also grow your own tobacco. It's fairly easy to grow. The seeds are itty bitty microscopic though. Holy cow.
Mm-hmm. Now, I would like to try growing tobacco. Not because I want to smoke it, but I remember getting a bee sting.
I use it for that
too. And a guy standing next to me pulled out this chewing tobacco and stuck it on my bee sting, and the sting went away, like virtually instantly.
It does.
So we keep a can of chewing tobacco here just for that purpose in the kitchen.
Well, I just remember when I was a kid, I got stung by a bee. So my mom smoked at the time. She came out and she spit on the bee sting, and I was like, "What?" And then she put the tobacco on it. I'll never forget that as a kid. My mom spit on it.
I didn't want to say that part, but that's exactly what this guy did.
That's it, right there. Yep.
It's like I looked at him like, "What?" He said, "Oh, I'm sorry." He just thought, it was in Virginia, and that's just what you do. You spit on the guy's arm, and you take a plug of tobacco, and you put it on there, and then you say, "Okay, now you put your thumb on it," and that's what happened.
That's right. That's right. It works.
Yeah,
it does work.
It absolutely works. So I need to try growing some tobacco here in the yard. So, you want to talk about how to, it's not roll your own. It's you have a machine, right?
Correct. We have a machine. We have a machine that we use, and then we buy the tubes with a filter in it right now.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And
okay. And you want to talk about cost?
The cost, if you're smoking and you're paying $6 for the chemically sprayed cigarettes, you're probably crazy. When you can buy it in bulk and roll your own for, I can buy a pound of tobacco for roughly $15.
Mm-hmm.
So you've got several cartons in that bag. So, it's like a sixth of the price, if not even less. And it's not got all of the chemicals on it. The tobacco plant itself, tobacco's not bad for you. I know everybody argues with me on that until they go do the research. It's funny. I was talking to a friend of mine that was a medical doctor, and everybody, they're brainwashed into believing that smoking causes cancer and all this stuff, right? Go do the research yourself. Quit believing what they say, and go research it, because it doesn't. And when I started reading some of the research, especially, I can't remember the guy's name now. He was an attorney, and he wrote The Case Against Smokers. I think that's the name of the book. And he's passed on now. He was like 80 or something when he wrote the book. I don't know. Anyway, he wrote the book and put all the research in it that they tried to get dogs to get lung cancer from smoking. So they have these smoking machines, right? Okay, that they made for this. The dogs didn't develop lung cancer. So then they decided, well, we're going to take the used cigarette butts and we're going to actually implant them into the lung fields. Okay, and try it. And it still didn't do it. So there's a lot more out there. And Vincent, I'm one of those people, if the government's got these huge anti-smoking campaigns and they're telling you it's bad for your health, it makes me want to run the other way. Because, trust me, they're not going to do anything for your health, I promise. Otherwise, we wouldn't have Obamacare. So that's just the way it is.
Erin, did I tell you the story that we used to have a farm in Virginia? We bought a farm separate from the farm where we lived. It was down the road. And it came with, it was about 100 acres, and it came with what was called a tobacco allotment. And a woman owned this farm, and she had an arrangement with a tobacco farmer to grow tobacco using her allotment on her farm. So a couple 1,000 pounds of tobacco were grown on this particular farm. And when I bought the farm, the tobacco allotment was transferred to me. So I allowed this same farmer to continue growing the same amount of tobacco that the government allowed to be grown on that farm. Well, I became interested in tobacco and learning a little bit about it. And I learned a story about another farmer, totally separate story, where this farmer was driving down the road and he saw this bag of stuff on the side of the road. And it looked like a bag of lime or fertilizer or something. And it was kind of split open. And he pulled over and he looked at it and saw what it was. And then he went to the soil and water conservation guys and said, look, there's a bag of tobacco fertilizer. It's split open. It's on the ground. They came out, looked at it. They called the EPA. The EPA guys came out with hazmat suits on them, in a stainless steel barrel. They opened the barrel, took the suits out, got the shoveled the dirt around this tobacco insecticide and the insecticide, put it in all the stainless steel barrel, put the respirator and the suit in the barrel, and all that. And the reason is it's absolutely hazardous, toxic, and really, really dangerous insecticide. It's so dangerous, I'm talking about the insecticide on the tobacco, that they post about every 100 feet when they spray and when it's safe to re-enter that field. It's about 10 days. So here's the spray date on signs that's required when you use tobacco insecticide and when it's safe to go back in the field. So it's so dangerous, the insecticide, that they don't seem to think it's dangerous to spray it, but it seems to be dangerous to re-enter the field after you sprayed it. So obviously the whole operation is deadly, right? Because they don't want you back in there. So I'm convinced that there is a significant difference between commercially grown tobacco that has the insecticide sprayed on it versus the tobacco of 100 years ago that did not have the insecticide sprayed on it.
Try to find organic. That's right.
So the answer, I think, is if you are a smoker, then why don't you consider growing your own tobacco and forget all the taxes, all of it? Wouldn't that be nice? Because they are really, the government is sticking it to the smoker. Erin, I remember literally when I was, in the 1960s, early 1960s, you could go to a gas station and buy a pack of cigarettes, a name brand like Marlboro, for 25 cents. That's a single pack at a gas station. Now, you said they were about $6 now? I think they're close to $10 in New York City.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't bought any, so I don't know. I know they're expensive. And it's all the taxes they put on it. That's right.
So
it's another way to launder money and just get money off the people.
So if you are a smoker, I'm not suggesting anybody begin, but if you are a smoker, why don't you avoid paying taxes by growing your own, and we'll call it rolling your own. Okay? All right, Erin, so we were talking about medical kits and emergency preparedness for medical emergencies, and we were talking about local anesthetics. Did you have some more that you wanted to share?
I do. Listeners, there are 2 videos at YouTube that I found so far that I really, really like. Write this down. Instruments for a traumatic dental extraction technique. It will show you how to extract teeth. And you think right now you probably don't need to know this, but what if you do? Wouldn't you rather know it ahead of time? There's another one called Oral Surgery Instruments Explained, and it goes through and explains the instruments. These are 2 videos I think you should watch. Take notes. At least if you've watched it, you kind of file it away in your brain. We're going to have to be our own dentist at some point.
Yeah. Yep. Going into another commercial break. Erin Dakins, and I'll be right back. We're talking more about medical emergencies And Erin, do you have those posted on your website?
I do not.
Okay.
Nope. They're just going to have to find it or email me.
Okay, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll try to do that during this break. We'll be right back. By now, you know that USAPrepares.com is your source for water filtration systems. Here at the farm, we use our water filtration system for drinking, cooking, and for our cats and dogs. Which brand are we using? Well, that would be the ProPure system, because it filters out pathogens, microbes, chlorine, and fluoride. Multiple sources indicate that fluoride is responsible for lowering our IQs by 5%. Now, how many of you would like to sign up for a lower IQ? USAPrepares.com offers ProPure water filtration systems and accessories at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate. We buy them by the pallet loads and pass the savings on to you. And if you're outside of Missouri, there's no sales tax. And if this appeals to you, visit USAPrepares.com. That's USAPrepares.com. You can order online, and we have the ProPure water filtration systems in stock, ready to ship. USAPrepares.com. ProPure water filtration systems at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate.
Hi, John Hubner from Midas Resources. Are you tired of watching your hard-earned assets dwindle away? As government spending is out of hand and the Federal Reserve is creating in excess of $20 billion a week, are you tired of stockbrokers gambling away your hard-earned money? Is this market a setup for a crash greater than 1987? Too many of today's policies resemble those that led to the collapse of 1929. This is John Hubner, and that was me in 2007. And we all know what happened when the subprime credit bubble burst. By March 2009, the Dow had lost 50% of its value. The entire U.S. banking system was on the verge of collapsing. Like all financial problems of the past, is history about to repeat itself? Call me, John Hubner, at 1-800-686-2237, extension 129, before it's too late to protect yourself. Will the oncoming catastrophe take all private IRAs, 401ks with it? There is a way to protect your hard-earned assets. Call me, John Hubner, at 1-800-686-2237, extension 129.
I'm Vincent Finelli of USAPrepares.com. As most of you know, I broadcast weekday mornings on GCN from 9 to 11. And I'm also a full-time farmer. Add to that mix the weekly meetups and the Get Prepared Expo, and this combination makes for a demanding schedule. On the farm, we raise grass-fed Black Angus cattle and provide them with the best variety of summer and fall grasses available. Our cattle are exposed to the extremes of weather, the toxins in the air, and the electromagnetic radiation that's all around us. So even the best grasses and food that we provide are not enough. Our cattle require minerals and supplements for strong health and resistance to disease. And so do we. For these reasons, my mother, our children, Mrs. Finelli, and I all take Longevity, Beyond Tangy Tangerine, De-Stress, Glucogel, and EFA+. USAPreparesTeam.com. And thank you for being in class today.
Don't complain about your cable bill going up and up and up. Do something about it. Grab a pencil and jot down this special number, 1-855-905-MY-TV. The more cable TV rates go up, the better digital satellite TV looks. Say goodbye to the cable guy and get more of your favorite channels in 100% digital quality for less money. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. Sign up for packages starting as low as $19.99, and there's no equipment to buy. You get free HD TV upgrade, a free DVR upgrade, and free professional installation. You control what you watch when you watch it. Record your favorite shows, pause and rewind live TV, even skip the commercials. Watch local channels too. At just $19.99, what are you waiting for? Pull out your major credit or debit card. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. 1-855-905-MY-TV. Say goodbye to the cable guy. Cut costs and get more. 1-855-905-MY-TV. 1-855-905-MY-TV.
Erin Dakins is with us, and Erin, I just posted USA Prepares that link, the first one that you talked about, instruments for atraumatic extraction dental technique.
Okay, good.
So it's there if you, and during the next commercial break, of which there are plenty. I'll be
There's
able
tons, yes.
Do you have do you have as many commercials as we have here? Same clock?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Same clock. I'm totally used to this. That's right.
Okay, great. It seemed like you were used to this clock. Okay. So, Erin, what else should we prepare for when it comes to taking care of emergencies that are going to happen? And, the shooting hasn't really started yet. And I expect that that's coming. I really do. I expect when people ask me about, why do you do what you do? I say, well, I have a ulterior motive for why I do what I do, why we have the expos. And, I believe that people should have what they need before they need it. Otherwise, they're going to go take it. And when that happens, there'll be broken glass in store windows. There will be blood in the streets, people fighting over things. And here's the proof. There's a post on the internet right now about a woman, who is catching a ball at a ball game. It's a ball coming her way. She's got her glove on. She's ready to catch it. And this guy next to her grabs the ball from her. She has it and he steals it. And then there's a story of a woman who caught this ball. A young boy was at the ball field and he's trying to catch this ball. This woman grabs it and then she's on camera. So she hands it to him. And it's like, wow, thanks so much. And then she demands it back after the camera's off her. I mean, those kind of things are happening. And these are the good old days. And this is about something as silly as a ball. Okay. And it's not life threatening. No one really is going to live or die, based on whether they have this ball that they caught or not. None of that's going to happen. But people will die if they don't have food, water, shelter, medical supplies. And I think that we're going to be fighting over that. I think there's going to be blood in the streets about that coming up. So the shooting, I think, is going to start. I don't know when, but when it does start, people are going to get wounded. Now what do? Now we have holes in our bodies from projectiles. So we're going to need these medical kits. Are you in the same camp?
Totally. Listen, listeners. There are some things you need that are basic. Now, in 2013, I have a lot of surgical instruments I've acquired over the years anyway, but I wanted just a small kit that I could do lacerations and the basic things. And I wanted this particular kit to be able to go in our like almost like a paramedic kit, like a to-go kit, a medical kit that it's got the very basics of everything we need. We could just grab it and go to whatever problem there is. Kind of like a field kit. So I wanted this and I found it on Amazon. The one that I ordered several years ago, of course, is no longer there. Of course, you know how that goes. So I was looking this morning before the broadcast to find something comparable, and I did. It doesn't have the nice little package with it. Ours has a little zip-up pouch, but this particular one does not. But if you go to Amazon and you look up 15-piece PCS, 15-piece, and then it's O.R, premium grade medical student, basic comprehensive suture laceration removal kit, basically. Okay. Vinny, if you want me to send you these links, I can. This is a basic kit. It's $15.99 plus $4.90 for shipping. It has the very basics that you're going to need in there. It's got some what we call mosquito hemostats. They're what I call the grabbers. That's a pair of iris scissors. Iris scissors are a very sharp pair of scissors. They're sharp. Each end is sharp. It's pointy. It also has a pair of Mayo scissors that are blunt. One blade is blunt or like a rounded. The other blade is sharp. And it's really good to get those particular scissors, the blunt sharps. Those are for, I use those when I'm suturing up a laceration area that's maybe really jagged and I've got to trim the edges, so to speak. Oh, we're going to break again. Okay, Vin, I'll finish that up on the other side. Snuck up on me.
Erin Dakins, it's delightful broadcasting with you. We'll be right back. By now, you know that USAPrepares.com is your source for water filtration systems. Here at the farm, we use our water filtration system for drinking, cooking, and for our cats and dogs. Which brand are we using? Well, that would be the ProPure system, because it filters out pathogens, microbes, chlorine, and fluoride. Multiple sources indicate that fluoride is responsible for lowering our IQs by 5%. Now, how many of you would like to sign up for a lower IQ? USAPrepares.com offers ProPure water filtration systems and accessories at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate. We buy them by the pallet loads and pass the savings on to you. And if you're outside of Missouri, there's no sales tax. And if this appeals to you, visit USAPrepares.com. That's USAPrepares.com. You can order online, and we have the ProPure water filtration systems in stock, ready to ship. USAPrepares.com. ProPure water filtration systems at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate.
Did you know that drinking pure, high alkaline water is one of the most important factors in maintaining high energy and vibrant health? Most experts agree that the water you drink should be at a pH level of 8 or higher. AlkaVision Plasma pH Drops, available only at alkavision.com, combine a unique formula of only the most alkaline minerals. AlkaVision Plasma pH Drops alkalize your water, ridding the body of harmful toxins, and helps you regain health and energy. Alkalizing your water by simply adding 10 drops of AlkaVision Plasma pH Drops helps the body rid itself of acidic waste, increases oxygen content, and raises the pH of your body to healthy levels. And bacteria and viruses cannot survive in an alkaline high pH environment. Order your bottle of AlkaVision Plasma pH Drops for only $29.95 at alkavision.com. That's ALKAvision.com. Or call 269-409-1776. 269-409-1776. Alkalize your body. Supercharge your health at alkavision.com today.
You've heard them on Alex Jones. You've seen them on Ancient Aliens. Now come see them live at Contact in the Desert 2015 in Joshua Tree this May. Experience 4 full days of science-centered lectures, workshops, intensives, and fieldwork on ancient astronauts, extraterrestrial intelligence, human origins, crop circles, contact experiences, UFO sightings, and more. Meet Chariots of the Gods author Eric von Daniken, Ancient Aliens host Giorgio A. Tsoukalos, New York Times bestselling author David Wilcock, Dead Doctors Don't Lie author Dr. Joel Wallach, astronauts Edgar Mitchell and Story Musgrave, Earth Files publisher Linda Moulton Howe, author Jim Mars, and many of the world's most respected researchers and scientists exploring answers to one of the greatest questions of all time. More speakers, more panels, more things to do. Join us at the Joshua Tree Retreat Center, which has a long history of sightings and contact experiences. For advance tickets and conference schedule, go to contactinthedesert.com. That is contactinthedesert.com.
I have bought a few bottles of Heart and Body Extract and have to say that it certainly does work.
That's what Jack from Michigan had to say after his experience with heart pain and what he did to treat it with Heart and Body Extract.
I actually had a huge heart flutter. I was also having some edema around my ankles and very worrisome clot in my right leg that would happen from time to time. I was trying to sleep.
Heart and Body Extract is all natural with no negative side effects. It will help repair or correct past problems associated with the heart and body circulation.
After my second bottle of Heart and Body Extract, all problems are now gone.
Order at hbextract.com or call 866-295-5305.
I ordered a third bottle of Heart and Body Extract for maintenance as I want to keep everything working.
Order Heart and Body Extract at 866-295-5305 or hbextract.com. Heart and Body Extract for a long and healthy life.
We live in a complicated society. Stressful issues are always popping up. Have you ever been treated unfairly by someone? Have you ever been overcharged for a repair? Have you ever signed a contract or a document? Worried about identity theft? How many times have you been in those unique situations where you just wanted to call an attorney to find out if you're right or wrong, or what your legal rights are? But every time you think about calling an attorney, what do you think about first? That's right. Who do you call, and how much will it cost? Our friends at Legal Shield have found a solution. With a nationwide network of 6,900 attorneys who average over 19 years of experience, Legal Shield's law firms take over 40,000 calls per week helping their members. For less than $20 per month, you can have access to Legal Shield on everything from the trivial to the traumatic. Let Legal Shield stand up for your rights at lsprotection.com. That's lsprotection.com. Or call 855-340-SAVE, 855-340-7283.
Results will vary from case to case.
Erin Dakins is with us, and Erin, we're talking about medical emergencies. Did we have a post on our website about McDonald's, the restaurant? And you know, McDonald's is really having a tough time trying to sustain at least even sales. They're losing customers, and people have really figured out that they just don't feel as good after they eat. While it tastes good while you're there, I don't seem to feel as good after. At least that's what people are telling me after they've eaten at McDonald's. And I can tell you years ago that I had to agree with that, because when I had eaten there, I didn't feel as well. So now they're saying that what they sell at McDonald's is really bad for the gut. And Norm Shealy told me many years ago that if he was, and I'm paraphrasing, and this was on the air when he said this, that if he were really hungry and there was a McDonald's, he'd keep going. Meaning drive past, not stop.
That's right. That sums it up.
And I will tell you that I did stop at McDonald's I guess this year. I was really, 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 really thirsty, and I was really dehydrated. And I stopped, and I was on a long trip, and I bought a cup of coffee. That's it. But regardless whether I was hungry or not, I did not buy anything else. So he uses the word poison. And if you go to our website and you take a look at the McDonald's post, you'll see that, people, Norm Shealy says things very frankly. He'll say that, I'll say, Dr. Shealy, what do you think about McDonald's? Poison! And now it's making the media. The things that he's been saying for years, 20 years, 30 years, it's now making the news. So, and we're talking about how to overcome wounds. And I really believe, Erin, that there are going to be bullet holes in a lot of us as we spiral down to third world status or below.
And what are you going to do if there's a bullet lodged in your thigh? Does everybody know how to deal with that? Because I'm going to guess probably not. Yeah. I just sent you 4 links in your email.
Okay.
Those links are 2 of the surgery kits I'm talking about that you can find on Amazon inexpensively. But the other 2 links are retractors. A lot of people don't know what a retractor is. I'm pretty convinced. There are different kinds of retractors, and what a retractor does is it pulls skin or the meat out of your way and holds it out of the way while you're either tying off maybe a vein or an artery that's gushing everywhere, or trying to find a bullet, or trying to find a piece of rusty metal that got lodged in your leg when you ran into that fence. You've got to be able to pull the meat out of your way so you can see what you're doing. You've got to be able to clean it, flush it, that kind of thing. Retractors are an awesome, awesome thing to have, and they're not really expensive. One of my favorite retractors you can find them on Amazon for $40. Okay. It's called an Army Navy. It's an Army Navy retractor. It's just real handy. It'll retract either end. It's got a small end and a big end, depending on how much meat you've got to pull out of the way. That's a good one, and I sent you that link. There's another couple that I really do like. One is called a Sen-Mueller retractor. A lot of these we use in veterinary medicine, but they're going to be fantastic preps for you guys. The other's a Wetlander retractor, and you'll see it on there. That would be something on that one. If you just look at it, it's pretty, it's kind of like an intestinal kind of thing to really get the intestinal wall out of your way. But these retractors are something, those 3 that I've mentioned, that if I were most people, I would try to have those in my kit. Mm-hmm. I think it's just very handy to have, and I'd rather you get it now than when you can't get it anymore. You're going to be stuck. Most people don't think about that when they're doing a medical kit. I've tried to look at it. I'm probably not going to be able to offer general anesthesia, hence the lidocaine. But I tried to approach our medical kit. What do I need to do what I need to do here if we can't get to a doctor? I consider it ditch medicine. I consider it doing the best that you can with what you have on hand, because if you don't try something, that person might die. That's how I look at it, Vincent. Okay? Mm-hmm. And I'm game to try what I need to if I think I might be able to save somebody's life. Maybe there's a 10% chance I can save somebody's life if they're gut shot. But I'm going to try. You've also got to be able to, any kind of wound like you talked about, you've got to clean it. I know there's a product you like and use. I can't remember the name of it.
You're talking about Kyani?
No. The cleaner. No, the cleaner.
Nixol.
Nixol. You like Nixol? I use chlorhexidine. It doesn't matter, listeners. Just get some of it, okay? You also need to know how to make your own saline solution, okay? To me, that is critical, totally critical. The saline solution can be used anywhere on or in the body. It will also rehydrate you. Dehydration is a number one killer. I don't know if Vincent wants to get into that today, but that is a killer. And you've got to be able to counteract
Let's do
that.
both. Let's do both. Let's make some saline right here, right now. We've got about 12 or 13 broadcast minutes. Let's make some saline solution because I make it, and it's almost free, literally almost free.
It is.
Let's talk about dehydration.
Okay. Let's talk about the homemade saline solution. Listeners, get ready to write this down. The easiest way to do it is have sterilized ball mason candy jars, the 16-ounce size. I'm going to do this in 16-ounce increments. So depending on how much you need, figure out your quantity here. You're going to heat 16 ounces of water. I prefer, you can use distilled water. That's fine. If you don't have that, use the water you have. Just filter it first, please. If you're using just regular tap water or well water, maybe it's filtered, bring your water to boil. Not a rolling boil for 20 minutes. Just bring it to boil. Take it off the heat. You're going to add 2 teaspoons. I use sea salt to make mine. I use the Himalayan sea salt to make mine, okay? Because it's also got some minerals in there that are going to help if somebody's suffering some problems. You're going to add 2 teaspoons of the salt and 1 teaspoon of baking soda. Your baking soda, your sodium bicarbonate, is a buffer, okay? Stir it till it's dissolved. Let it cool. Pour it into your jars. You have saline solution. Now, right now is the time to go to Tractor Supply or whatever you have, Orscheln's, I don't know what you have. Get some 60 cc syringes. They are really good for flushing wounds. You can put the saline solution, you can pull it up into those syringes and you can do a lavage, which is just a cleaning. Somebody that has a laceration, whatever it is, you've got to clean that wound. They're made to be debris. Anything could be in there. So you've got to clean it up. So use that. That is, you can use it in the eyes. You can use it in the mouth. You can use it anywhere. The same saline solution that you can use that you just made can be used to rehydrate somebody. Any kind of flu, anything bad, anybody's hurt real bad, dehydration is the killer. Just the killer. So what you want to do, there's a technique, it's called proctoclysis or a Murphy drip. And they did this a lot during World War I and II. And what that means is you're going to have I tell everybody to get an enema bag. You can buy them right now, $20. Have your enema bag so that it's in your preps. You can put your saline solution in that enema bag. Most of the enema bags anymore come with different tips, so depending on the size of the person, and it's usually a rigid tip, which is fine. People think, well, you don't want to run an enema. No, you're not running an enema. What you're doing, the intestinal mucosa will absorb those fluids really quick, especially when you've added the salt. Mixed in a different isotonic solution, okay? You're going to put that tip up, whoever the patient is, put it up their rectum, have them lay on their side. You only need to put it in, I don't know, 2 or 3 inches, maybe 4. You don't want to ram it clear up there, I promise. They won't appreciate that. Put it on a slow drip. So figure out how fast your drip is before you insert it. If it's on a slow drip with that salt in there, it's going to rehydrate the person through the intestinal mucosa, which is pretty quick. It's not as good as an IV, but it's a lot better than trying to get oral fluids down somebody that's sick, or what do you do if they're unconscious? I mean, you've got to do something. This simple technique can save lives right here. And it's just that easy. It's making your own saline solution, which Vincent already told you, it's almost free. And it's spending maybe $20 on an enema kit. to me, this is critical. In fact, when I figured this out, when all this was coming to me in my head, I literally sent Brad that day to town to Walgreens and had him buy 2. Because this is critical.
If the IRS has garnished your paycheck or seized money from your bank account, you need to get professional tax help now. Fast action is required to put a halt to these aggressive IRS collection tactics. You can count on the knowledgeable team of tax professionals at Wall & Associates. With over 30 years of experience, Wall & Associates has settled the tax problems of thousands of taxpayers for a small fraction of what they owed. For a free face-to-face consultation, call 1-800-425-4610 to put a wall between you and the IRS. 1-800-425-4610 or look for us on the web at wallandassociates.net. We solve tax problems. If you hire Wall & Associates today, you'll never have to talk to the IRS again. To stop the levies and seizures today, take action now. Call Wall & Associates at 1-800-425-4610. Wall & Associates. 1-800-425-4610. Based on actual cases, results may vary, not a solicitation for legal services.
Okay, great.
Don't complain about your cable bill going up and up and up. Do something about it. Grab a pencil and jot down this special number, 1-855-905-MY-TV. The more cable TV rates go up, the better digital satellite TV looks. Say goodbye to the cable guy and get more of your favorite channels in 100% digital quality for less money. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. Sign up for packages starting as low as $19.99, and there's no equipment to buy. You get free HD TV upgrade, a free DVR upgrade, and free professional installation. You control what you watch when you watch it. Record your favorite shows, pause and rewind live TV, even skip the commercials. Watch local channels too. At just $19.99, what are you waiting for? Pull out your major credit or debit card. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. 1-855-905-MY-TV. Say goodbye to the cable guy. Cut costs and get more. 1-855-905-MY-TV. 1-855-905-MY-TV.
You've heard them on Alex Jones. You've seen them on Ancient Aliens. Now come see them live at Contact in the Desert 2015 in Joshua Tree this May. Experience 4 full days of science-centered lectures, workshops, intensives, and fieldwork on ancient astronauts, extraterrestrial intelligence, human origins, crop circles, contact experiences, UFO sightings, and more. Meet Chariots of the Gods author Eric von Daniken, Ancient Aliens host Giorgio A. Tsoukalos, New York Times bestselling author David Wilcock, Dead Doctors Don't Lie author Dr. Joel Wallach, astronauts Edgar Mitchell and Story Musgrave, Earth Files publisher Linda Moulton Howe, author Jim Mars, and many of the world's most respected researchers and scientists exploring answers to one of the greatest questions of all time. More speakers, more panels, more things to do. Join us at the Joshua Tree Retreat Center, which has a long history of sightings and contact experiences. For advance tickets and conference schedule, go to contactinthedesert.com. That is contactinthedesert.com.
Making the right decisions is a challenge to investors. Are we going to see economic growth, slide into a recession, or at worst, depression? Hi, Ted Anderson from Midas Resources. We all know when a company acts irresponsibly, divesting ourselves in a move towards safety is prudent. When the market becomes volatile, U.S. Treasuries are a safe haven. But what do you do when the U.S. government overextends itself and spends beyond its means? Many investors are turning toward gold as a common-sense alternative to traditional paper investments. Midas Resources has put together a powerful book titled 10 Reasons to Own Gold, discussing costs, benefits, risks, featuring full-color illustrations, weights, and measures. The book is free and can be yours by calling 800-686-2237. Paper investments are dwarfed by gold's 6,000-year history. Discover how gold may be right for you and your IRA by calling 800-686-2237. Whether buying or it's time for you to sell, the book is free. Call 800-686-2237.
Well, we had a power failure here at the studio in Missouri. The power went down for the entire farm. And wouldn't you know it, I disconnected our uninterruptible power system to do some testing just before. Just before.
Way to go. Good timing.
Well, I had this hum on the system, a 60-cycle hum, and I was determined to find it. And so I disconnected that's where it was. So I disconnected it, and I thought, yeah, I'll fix that right after the broadcast. Oh, wouldn't you know it. So the power went down, and Vinny was gone, and so Erin, you were talking about dehydration and making normal saline solution. Now, how long will that keep? Do you have a feel for that? Because, I'm worried about, if you keep it in the sunlight, you might get some bacteria in there, and then you spray it in your nose to do
the way I look at it, that's right. I make it up as you go. Make it up. Okay. It doesn't take long to make it. Make it up as you go.
Mm-hmm. And it's almost.
I have like lactated ringers in bags, and now of course mine's expired by now. I still use it, but for the saline solution that you're going to make at home in your ball jars, but several days is fine. If you've got somebody that's sick and you're going to be running these fluids through the enema bag, make up enough for a couple of days. That's fine. But other than that, I wouldn't leave it sit around for 6 months or so. I just wouldn't. I'd make it up as you go.
Okay. And one thing you can do if you happen to have bought one of those nasal spray bottles at the drugstore or the Chinese factory outlet, you can clean them out and reuse them and put your own saline solution in there. So when I do hay, it's a really dusty environment. And what I do is I will do a nasal rinse. I'll spray some saline solution up each nostril, and then I'll blow my nose, and I'll do it a couple times, and I will prevent having a sinus infection from that dusty hay or that moldy hay if I happen to be unrolling hay that has gotten moldy by just being outside. So that's something that we do here at the farm. So, but the only thing that's different about the way I make it and the way you make it, Erin, is I don't use the buffer. So I imagine that your method is better with one. So that's 2 teaspoons of salt per quart, per 16 ounces of water, and 1 teaspoon of sodium bicarbonate. That's baking soda.
Right. Now you can get the baking soda that doesn't have the aluminum in it. I think it's red mill that makes. Right. Yeah, that's the best kind. But you know what? Use what you have right now. Okay.
So I do it without that, but so you can do it either way. And one thing that I do is I use ProPure filtered water with ours. And if you have a Berkey, you can use Berkey as well. So the idea is to get the best water that you can. You can use distilled water or even tap water. The only problem with tap water is that it has some chlorine in it. But in an emergency, I wouldn't worry too much about the chlorine and the fluoride in your water if someone is at death's door.
Right. And you can even add, if you make your own colloidal silver, you can even add some silver to that rectally.
Mm-hmm. And you could add colloidal silver to the saline solution to help keep it so that it lasts longer, maybe weeks, right?
I don't see why not. Now, if you're making your own colloidal silver just out of the batteries and the silver wire, that's typically good shelf life for about 30 days.
Mm-hmm. Okay. We need to do a broadcast on how to make your own colloidal silver and make sure that you have the proper concentration. Why don't we do that next time we're on the air? What do you think?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Erin, this preparedness stuff is quite complex. There's a lot to it. And I got a call yesterday afternoon before the meetup from a production company in the United Kingdom, and they said that they consider us, the pinnacle of preparedness, and they want to do some video of us for their television show. I thought that was quite flattering, but what I learned is that the United Kingdom is nowhere near as prepared as we are. They're looking to us and also those of us in the United States as the model. And I look at us as woefully unprepared. What do you think?
I agree. We are.
Yeah. Hey, Erin, that was a really fast 2 hours. I'm going to see you on Friday on the Bunker Files. Posted on the website how to listen to us, Erin and me, for 2 hours on Fridays from 2 to 4 Central. Erin, thanks so much for being with us. You can listen to Erin on tonight, The Truth Traveler. Above all, honesty and integrity. What happens next? It's up to you.
For over 5 years, you've been hearing about the Berkey guy, so you may know a few things about him. For example, you are well aware of the superior quality and effectiveness of Berkey water filters and accessories. But did you know the Berkeys have had independent lab tests done to prove just how effective they are? It's true, and he can email you the test results. Just visit goberkey.com. You may also know that the Berkey guy has helped tens of thousands of people get better prepared. Now here's something you may not know. GoBerkey.com has amazing specials and deals all the time on a wide variety of survival and preparedness products, most ready to ship same day. Visit the Berkey Guy at GoBerkey.com and be sure to click the red Products on Sale Now button. You can always call toll-free 877-886-3653. Again, that's 877-886-3653. GoBerkey.com, home of the Berkey Guy.
Gold. It's like nothing else on Earth. From the Romans through the Renaissance, from the Industrial Age to the Space Age, gold has weathered the test of time. For 6,000 years, gold has remained the ultimate store of wealth. According to the World Gold Council and the U.S. Mint, demand is at an all-time high. The stage is being set for the reemergence of gold as the common-sense alternative to a fiat paper currency that gets weaker every day. Midas Resources is proud to offer the hard-hitting report that arms you with the truth you need to protect you and your family from the Fed's plans for your hard-earned money. Don't gamble with your future. Call Midas Resources today and ask for your free copy of As Good as Gold. Call 1-800-686-2237 for the report the Fed hopes you'll never see. As Good as Gold can be yours by calling 800-686-2237. If you have ever thought about owning gold, you must read this report. Call Midas today at 800-686-2237.